How's it going, folks? Stu here. It's time for another one of my more anticipated films from this year's London Film Festival. This one actually just won Best Film from the Audience Awards at the festival on Sunday, which is a nice little, yeah, nice. Well deserved. That is the latest film from Thomas Vinterberg, Another Round, or Druk. Did I need to do that? I am a big fan of Thomas Vinterberg's work. My favourite of his previously being The Hunt, which is another one which stars Mads Mikkelsen, and I think I've spoken about it on the channel before, so if I have, there is a link to that up there. If I haven't, I've just pointed up there for no reason. And it is a really strange and interesting, fascinating film, this one. It is essentially about 4 teachers at a school who decide to partake in a little drinking experiment. One of the teachers brings to the table this interesting idea, which is posited by, I believe, a scientist, who suggests that all human beings are born with and live with this alcohol deficit. It's 0.5% under what we should have in our blood system to function as, I guess, effectively as we should do as humans. So they decide to, between them, put it to the test and see whether or not they can maintain that low alcohol level in their blood system and see whether that has the effects they want it to. And there's our film. We see what that does to this group of friends and teachers in their school and in their family lives. As you can imagine, it don't go swimmingly. It isn't the best idea you've ever had, although I don't think it took a genius to tell them that. But this film uses that idea to tackle this brilliant sort of exploration of drinking culture and of what alcohol does to human beings. And I just find that so interesting and so refreshing. Is that an alcohol pun? You bet your gosh darn butt it was. And this film sort of continues that thing I've come to love about Vinterberg films, and has just really well realized and interesting characters. Characters with great depth to them that feel real and lived in, and their sort of thoughts and their perspectives get explored in a way which feels really satisfying. And that is helped out here by some fantastic performances. Everyone in this film kills it. I really loved watching them all together. As I said, Mads Mikkelsen is, I guess, the lead of the film, certainly the most high profile of the performances. And Mads Mikkelsen is so good. He's so good. I mean, I don't know what else to say. He's one of those actors which seems to be able to bring something different to each of his roles, but also it's Mads Mikkelsen as well, you know what I mean? His character was really, really good, and I was really impressed that it didn't sort of fall into the cliche route that I expected his character to go down. When this character gets set up at the beginning of the film, I don't know, it's sort of like, oh, I wonder where this is going to go, and I wonder what's going to happen to him. And it kind of goes down that route, but Mads Mikkelsen at least makes it feel interesting enough to not feel conventional. Good old Mads. And also he dances. We get Mads Mikkelsen dancing in this film. Yes, please, I'll have it again. But alongside him is the other friends in this group, the other teachers going along in this experiment, are Thomas Bo Larsen, Lars Ranth, and Magnus Miller. And they are all great, and I really believe them as this group of friends and teachers. But they all really nail their different personalities, and that just makes the whole concept much more interesting because they're all at different points in their lives. They all have a different approach to this one experiment, which is realized brilliantly through the performances, but also in the writing as well. And I loved the way that this film, as I said, just sort of tackles all of the corners you'd like to see tackled in a film like this. At first, it can begin to feel slightly predictable and cliche. Like when they bring this idea to the table, it's great to watch, it's enjoyable, but you're sort of just at the back of your head going, yeah, this is going to go horribly, and it kind of does. But as you get going through the film, I think it did a brilliant job of really absorbing you into the minds of these people. And it's one of those films where, yes, some of the characters start to make silly decisions, and it's very easy as a viewer to watch it and go, hey, well, why are you doing that? That's obviously going to go horribly wrong. But Vinterberg does a great job of making you believe that these characters would make those decisions. That's a really particular thing to be able to nail, and I think this film does it brilliantly. And the decisions that the characters make end up sort of spiraling. Things start to get a little bit out of hand, no shit. And it leads to really difficult, tough situations to watch when you know it could have been avoided. But it also hits some really poignant and moving moments. And I was surprised at how moving the end of this film ended up being. But the film isn't just alcohol bad, end of film, see you later. It takes the time to really dive into what alcohol does to people. It's always just nice to see screenplays that aren't just so obviously black and white like you might expect with a topic like this. That being said, though, there are certain threads in the film that I would like to have seen delved into a little bit further. But that's not to say it ever really derails the film. It never feels like we're looking at something when I want to be looking at other things, if that makes sense. And by the end of this film, it ends up feeling like a really interesting and satisfying look at this theme, at this topic, which is drinking culture. I mean, it's just, on its basic, bare bones level, it's just a film about drinking, which, as anyone that has drunk knows, can get messy. This film definitely does, and it's so great to be able to watch that through the lens of someone like Thomas Vinterberg with such a good cast as he has here. Bonus point, they act drunk very well. That can sometimes be like, oh, you're pushing it a bit too far, but there are scenes in this film where they are on a bender, and I felt a bit drunk watching it. It sometimes too effectively puts you into the headspace of being absolutely wasted on a night out. And I don't know if that's a great or a horrible thing. But what about you guys? Did you manage to check out another round at the festival this year? If you did, let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below, and we'll have a little chat. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another review from the festival. But until then, stay beautiful, stay safe. Don't drink as much as the people in this film drink. Not a good idea. No one's gonna have fun.